What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another glorious episode of the Early Evening Show. My name is Tyrone Miller. It's been a pleasure. And y'all know, I'm going to always start the show with a word, man. Today, I'm going to start the show with connection. Because you never know when you're going to meet somebody that can change your life for the better, for the worse. You never know where that relationship can go. Sometimes it's all about the energy. Sometimes it ain't really about connection. It's just about the energies exchanging. And when those energies exchange, y'all know, like, I don't gotta say nothing, but I know this person is cool. I know you feel out the energies. And sometimes that's what it takes. And that's what leads me to this next guest. Man, we got Day NYC in the building.
Yes, sir.
And I said that to say, me and Day met one time.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I was like, I don't know, something about bro, I like him.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, I went on his show last week. He on my show this week, home and home, because the energy was always right and the vibe was right. So Day, look in that camera, tell the people who you are, what you do, and that's it.
Yeah, man, you already know what it is, man. Day NYC, 27 years old. I'm the host and producer of Kickback and Vibe. Season 4, love what I do. Man, I always say it's a show where we kick back, relax, and have some fun, and it's real people having real conversation with just nothing but real energy. Been doing it for some time, and I'm going to continue to elevate and grow. I'm always down to connect with people.
That's it. He definitely is, man.
Yes,
Gotta
sir.
give you one more dap.
Yeah.
But Day, where did it start, bro? Like Kickback and Vibe, like, you know, people say the podcast, it's the podcast era. Everybody got a podcast. Kickback and Vibe is a TV show. So where did it come from? Where did the idea and then the follow through of getting through 4 seasons of it?
Yeah, so I originally came into this place as a co-host under somebody's show called The Spotlight from Dave. He actually introduced me to like video production.
Right.
I've been rocking with him for 2.5 years, and then I said, you know, I want to learn video production and I want to create my own thing. I knew I wanted to create something, but I didn't know the title.
Right.
And somebody told me, listen, just start. You don't need to know what's you don't need to know what's the next step. Just start from there, you'll know what to do.
Right.
I said, okay. So at that point I said, let me just create something. I knew I wanted like a kickback vibe, so the kickback word came into play.
Right.
So the show's originally it's formerly known as Kickback and Chill, right? But I was like, nah, I gotta change the name. So I went from Kickback and Chill to Kickback and Vibe. People's always using the word vibe. My generation's always using that, well, let's just catch a vibe and do this, that, and the third. So Vibe really came, I was like, Kickback and Vibe. I was like, oh, that sounds good. And Kickback and Vibe is really a talk show where I get to have real guests on the show, unwind, relax, get away from the New York City streets, and just really have great conversation as it pertains to what they do. Whether you're an entrepreneur, actor, artist, no matter what you do, come at the function, just bring your best self. We had performances. At the time, we had audience questionnaires, games. It's just an opportunity, in a sense, for people to just connect with people that they don't know, establish a connection. So crazy, connection, so hence the word. And just have fun with it. I love it. It truly makes me happy. But, you know, I'm just really trying to take it up a notch because I believe this could be global.
It could be. And look, only thing that's gonna stop it is you. And you don't seem like you stopping it.
No.
So where did the entrepreneurial spirit come from? Because you know you came on as a guest host for somebody else, and most people could just be happy with that position. What made you say you wanted to get your own situation going?
Well, I just had to take the risk.
Right.
You know, I can't lie. I was like, you know, you watch TV all the time. You see all these famous people with their own talk show, and it's nice. Don't get me wrong. Why can't it be you? Why can't it be you?
That's right.
So I figure, you know, for somebody who used to be shy, elementary, middle, and high school, but spoke every now and then. Yeah. And I was on the basketball team, so I had to open my damn mouth.
Absolutely. Look, coach wasn't having that.
Yeah, hell no.
Word.
So I was like, you know what? Let me just give it a shot, right?
Right.
So when creating, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Shout out to Stanley, and then I met Steph. Yeah. You know, who really, you know, introduced me to not only creating content, but like change it up a bit. Tap into the scenes. What is something that's trending? You know, switch it up. You know, your generation love to see something that's trendy, that's catchy. People already know we have good content, but as always, let's take it up a notch. So the entrepreneurial spirit just came from me just taking a risk, creating my own lane. And hey, listen, God forbid, if it doesn't work, at least I can say I tried. And I really move with that mentality, even with guests. Like, hey, if I reach out to this guest, because like as far as the guest part, it's sometimes a mutual thing. Sometimes they reach out to us. Sometimes I reach out to them. Right. If I reach out to them, if they don't respond, well, at least I tried. Right. If they hit me with the I'll let you know, cool. But you say you was gonna let me know, but I gotta keep pushing. Right. You know, I can't slow down for nobody. So just taking a risk, taking action, and just trying, really.
That's it. So you mentioned in your youth, growing up, you was quiet. You mentioned you played basketball. Talk about how both of those two things played into, like, the growth you've had from that. Because I know, like, as young people, and when you a kid, you ain't the same person. And we always growing. We always should be trying to grow at least.
Yeah.
What was the thing that helped cultivate your growth from those two spaces? You said you said shy, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, being a shy kid and then playing sports.
Yeah.
I'm sure that brought you out a little bit more, but talk about that journey from being a shy kid to being an athlete to now having your own show. Because that shy kid probably is looking back like, man, I don't know who this dude is.
Yeah, like that's when, this is way before I even knew before I even knew the word introverted existed, right? Didn't even know what that word is.
Right.
So at that time, very introverted. I don't know, just quiet. Hated for somebody to, pick me in the class to read a passage and then have to answer questions. I hated it.
Right. Anything that brought attention to you.
Yeah, anything that brought attention,
I got you.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Come on. I ain't coming here to talk.
I ain't trying to do all that.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to be in this class, right? So I knew going into basketball, I had to talk up. If I'm on defense, hey, I need you to hedge on this play. Hey, screen coming left, I got you.
Right.
So I knew I had to be vocal, but my mom always stressed, like, hey, listen, I need you to open your mouth and say something. You know, when people see that you're too quiet, they feel they could try to take advantage.
Word.
I don't want to be taken advantage as a man. So I knew I just had to take baby steps, so basketball was one of them. And once I graduated high school and I knew I was going to college, at the time I was going to this university in Staten Island. So I knew I was like, oh, I see the dorm rooms, I see the women, I see everybody.
Yeah, open up your
so,
mind,
you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I'm a handsome brother. I could, talk my stuff. So that's what really gave me that start.
Right.
And then I still was at a point where I was just like, damn, if somebody when I was 18 years old say, hey, would you like to start your own show? No, I'm not doing that. I want to be in front of cameras or lights. But it was, who really inspired me to want to get into this? It was just watching 106 in Park as a kid growing up. Terrence J, Roxy Diaz, so many times. It was, at the time, near us.
Right.
So, and I went to their show and really seeing them in action, I was like, you really can't give a F what people say. You really just got to do your own thing.
Right.
And like I said, regardless if you failed, at least you could say you tried. Some people are scared to take the first step.
That's right.
So what really pushed me was just like, hey, have that mentality of just trying.
Right.
Right? And, I'm so happy I had that mindset to this very day because it's been working ever since.
Right. Absolutely. Like, dog, growth, I think people don't talk about it when you're a kid. It's not a class you take in school, but no one talks to doing hard things, even though, like, social hard things. Some things socially is just hard. Like you said, if you're you might be a little nervous to step out there and do those things, but I think it's a skill that as you do it more, you gain strength, and then you get a lot better at doing these things that are hard for you. So speak to that. Like, what's something that was hard for you when you came into the entertainment game, when you started doing the show? What was something that was hard for you then that you got through, and how did you get through it?
Yes, so once I was creating my own show, I knew I was going to slowly be leaning into the producer role. Didn't know what the hell that meant. So when I hear the word producer, people were saying, well, producer is the person that produces a track, produces a video. And it's like, that's not a clear definition.
Definitely not a clear.
It's not. Don't use the word in the same sentence and think I'm supposed to understand that. Like, I'm a newbie to this, right? So I said to myself, let me just slowly learn production, video production. But even though I knew I was going to the producer side, I would take a producer workshop. I'll tap in with many different producers. That was like the hardest thing for me because I was like, oh, I know I used to be introverted, but now I really got to talk up and really have a team to cultivate this execution. So I took this producer workshop. I really started interacting with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And the producer's pretty much overseeing the whole aspect of video production. So if I'm even gonna have a thought of creating my own production, I definitely need to talk up. I definitely need to have organizational skills. I need to be prepared weeks prior, having my team informed. So now when we come into the studio, or as I like to call it, the function, everything's a breeze. Okay, this is the production rundown. This is the shot list. Now, I'll be honest, these last few shoots, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot. Sometimes I gotta read off my phone, and that's okay. I can admit my mistakes.
That's right. And then, hey, y'all, he admitted his mistake, but it still got done. That's the important thing. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you could have came in and said, you know what, forget it, man. I ain't even gonna do it this week. I ain't get a chance to bring my list. You gonna learn on the fly. Or you gonna just make it adapt. You gonna adapt to whatever's going on.
Improv skills is like perfect, right? So once I started understanding what it's like to be a producer, I fell in love with it. Now I want to keep going. I want to polish up my skills.
Right.
So, it's a journey. I feel like I've somewhat mastered it, and I'm still learning. I always say I'm a student of the game because before social media, there's people been in this game for 20, 30 plus years.
Right.
So for me, it's like, I'm going to continue to keep learning. I'm going to continue to learn from people like Stephen Stanley, people at the network, even people in the street. And because of social media, it really has, in my mind, helped me envision how I want the shoot to be. Like this time I come in, I'm like, all right, I already envision how this shoot is going to be. We're going to have this specific shot here and this specific shot here. I know how we're going to implement the B-roll and post because, we're pre-recorded.
Right.
So everything runs smoothly when you're prepared and when you already have skin in the game because it helps you really prosper with your video production in the long run.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So who's your dream guest? Because I would say your dream interview, but you're not interviewing them. You're pretty much kicking back and chilling.
Yeah.
You're kicking back and vibing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So who would be the dream person you could have on there and why?
Oh, I don't know if I could say two people, but...
Say two.
First one would be Terrence J. He actually motivated me to get in this. I don't see him hosting really a lot of stuff much, but I know he's still on the production side and doing other things.
Right.
Damn, the second person would have to be... Oh, that's a good one.
Look, man, because people ask me, and I'd be like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I always go with President Obama myself. I was like, President Obama, matter of fact, if you're watching, President Obama, this door is open to you. Come sit down. Early evening show will welcome you.
Damn, what's crazy? Damn, that's a hard. The second one. I guess you could say. I guess you could say Obama.
Yeah.
I guess really just how was he able to navigate life or navigate the society as a president when all the odds were stacked against him.
Absolutely.
So that's somebody I would really tap into.
Yeah,
or even
dog.
people from the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, dog. Breakfast Club. Like, see, Obama, reason being for me, navigating being the president of the United States as a black man and dealing with all that stuff and you never seen him lose his cool, bruh.
Yeah.
I'll be having a hard time with that in regular life. I don't know how he dealt with it as president. Like, that's amazing. I would love to ask that question.
Yeah.
But how do you deal with having a show and I'm not going to, all right, and we're not like huge stars, but dog, somebody might be watching it, you might get recognized on the street, you putting up social media posts. How do you deal with that aspect of being a creator? Because right now, everybody has a platform where you can be seen, and there's always people saying, I know you from this, or even if they don't say that, you're walking around.
One time, it wasn't just crazy, it was so crazy, I was near CBS, and I'm walking out, she's like, I feel like I've seen you somewhere before. I was like, really, you have a show? I was like, yeah, what's the name of the show? I just want to see, I want to see if she really knew.
Yeah.
I guess the way I navigate is just continue to be me. You'd be surprised who you're inspiring when you're walking down the streets from New York.
Right.
You never know who's watching. There's so many people that be like, it was my friend Dre, he would always tell me like, hey, yo, you'd be surprised. There's people on my side that know exactly who you are. They just never met you. So they're tuning in. They know that you're legit, that you're serious, and you're about your business.
Right.
And like I say, you'd be surprised who you're inspiring. Maybe that person that want to start their own business, start their own show, but they're nervous.
Right.
But when they hear my story of knowing that I was very introverted, had no extrovert, I had no extrovert. Now I tell people, I'm an extrovert with slight introvert tendencies, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's just that. Just be true to you, control what you can control, and like I say, you never know who you're gonna inspire.
Right, and what do you think the next move? Because you said you like where you at now. You've been doing it 4 years. The next move for the show. You said you wanted to make some things up, change some things up, season 4, and what's those things you want to change up? You don't have to be specific, of course, but really the vision of it, whatever it is.
I can't lie. I would love to. Well, right now we're focusing on some heavy marketing, just planning out that. At some point, I would love to do a live show, maybe like twice a year, you know. So that, what is it like to go on tour, with the show? I feel like that would really help people like, hey, and let's say if you're starting out and you're still like, quote unquote, new or like many people may not know you.
Right.
Try to hit up 3 cities, just you and your peoples, right? Hey, let's go to Atlanta. Let's go to Charlotte. Let's go to Philly. Contact a venue. Yeah, I know people. We know people. Hey, they could come. It could be artists. We'll have a great conversation, and we'll go from there.
Right.
Yeah, I really want to know what that tour life is. I mean, we always see our favorite artists go on tour. And yeah, they're obviously selling out arenas and stadiums. But you start small and you gradually work your way up. It's possible. It's a process. Why not give it a shot?
Right. And that's a growth mindset, man. And a lot of people don't have that. Like, people out there, if y'all watching, make sure y'all get into that, man. What he said is way bigger. He said it pretty simply, but it's way bigger than that, man. Like, he sees something bigger for the future that other people may not see. And that could go for you, too, at home.
And merch, too. Because, like, think of it, you're selling merch. And obviously with heavy marketing, it's expanding. You know, with TikTok is very big.
Right.
A lot of people, you know, you can always say, okay, well, if a person buys it from another state, once they purchase, and, you know, obviously they get the email receipt and everything,
right.
they could be like, hey, well, check out our show. They may not know that we have a show.
That's right.
So now that they have a show, they was like, hey, well, if they're open to having guests, they may want to reach out.
Right.
And now it's like, we now establish a community. And because we establish a community, within our community, you'll have incentives. Okay, you guys get early releases. Because you've been on the show, you might be thrown into a raffle. You know what I'm saying? We have so much things. I will say we do have like we're probably gonna do a cypher this year.
I like that.
Because it's like, a lot of people always say like the Kickback and Vibe function, they always gave off like 106 and Park vibes in a sense. So I was just like, let me kind of bring that back, but add my own little twist. I mean, why not? And that's the beauty of creating your own. You add your uniqueness, your flexibility, add something to it. I'm always open to suggestions, and just have fun with it. But, you know, continue being organized, have a plan, and having meetings with your team.
Yeah, so talk to me about the experience of going to 106 in Park, because I went.
Yeah.
I was there. Like, talk to the people, the young people that may not know, talk about that experience, because I feel like it's one of the slept-on shows in black TV in the last 50 years because it was so culturally impactful. Like, for a certain demographic of people, 106 in Park was it. Talk about what it was like going there and experiencing it and being from New York.
Yeah, you know, at first it was unbelievable because I remember, you know, mom being home by 6 o'clock, getting off work at 5, and I'm doing homework, but I'm also tuning in. But at the same time, I'm not paying attention to my homework.
Right.
And it's like, hey, turn that TV off.
Yep.
So now to be there in person with your two friends, it felt amazing. It was like, oh snap, this is what it's like to be in a TV studio.
Right.
This is what happens when they tell you to clap your hands when they go into break. I used to always curious to know what it's like to go into break. Right.
Word.
So it was so much fun. I remember I went with Terrence J and Roxy was there. Then I went to the one when Nick Cannon and Big Tigger was there, and then 2 Chainz was there. And then you were able to meet like different people. And at the time, we're teenagers, so you really can't do much. Be able to meet people from different high schools. We didn't really understand what networking was at the time. I'll just be honest.
You were just outside.
We didn't understand that. We just outside, you know, doing our thing. So it was fun. You know, it just showed that they focused on us, and because we were teenagers, we knew, okay, well, these people are gonna keep coming back every week. They don't come if it's every single day.
Right.
You know, when you have something good, when you have something hot, and then you have your favorite celebrity coming on the show, you know damn well you're gonna find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, bro. And there's nothing equivalent to that now. And I honestly don't think there'll ever be an equivalent to that because of social media.
Yeah.
Because now celebrities are so easy to touch because you can just follow their Instagram. You see pretty much a lot of their day if they give it to you. Some celebrities will give you everything. And there'll be no equivalent to that show, but you bringing the cipher back, I think that's fire. Just you talking about having a cipher, because I haven't seen one in years, bro. When's the last time you seen a cipher?
Well, I just watched ones on the hip hop.
Nope, I mean in person, walking down the street, seeing somebody just rhyming on the corner, and 3 other dudes, somebody beatboxing.
Seeing it on Union Square. I see like they do it often, but I kind of want to do like something where it's like in the studio.
Yeah.
Add my own little. Still don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I know we're gonna make something work, especially with Stanley and Steph being behind the cameras.
Yeah.
Them guys are the real deal.
Oh, man, shout out Steph, shout out Stan, man. They in the control room right now.
Yeah, you know, Steph always tell me, get off that damn phone.
Look, you already know. But hip-hop, let's talk about it, because you talk about the cipher, you talk about 106 in Park, and what do you think is going now? I know this is a random question, but I'm kind of treating this like your show, kicking back and chilling, bro. Like, talk about hip-hop, because now for me, I'm an old school head, so I'm like, I came up at the very beginning, but, you know, the 90s, hard hip-hop, and then now it feels like the game's changed, but I don't know if it has, because I'm older. You know, because I used to look at people like, oh, they 40, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what's out. Now I'm the older guy, and I'm like, all right, I try to appreciate it all. But from you being 27, talk about it from your point of view.
I feel like hip-hop has definitely changed. It's definitely shifted with all these new artists. A lot of these new artists came into play because of TikTok. Yeah. You know, like, nowadays, it's like, you can have a song that make no sense, it's whack, but if it has a hot beat and the engineer knew what he was doing, that song can go viral.
Yep.
You know, like I'm pretty sure you thought to yourself like, damn, some of these songs that make no sense, if it would have came out around your time, they would have been like, get out of here with all that.
Yeah, it wasn't a hit.
So hip hop has definitely shifted because the quality of music is good, but it's also like not the best at the same time because of social media. Right. And because the quality is not the best, it's somewhat good, but not the best. It's watered down quality music from artists that are trying to break into this game and really try. You know, it's like a sauce. It's like in this ingredients, it's kind of like, okay, we have a handful of people making good music and actually putting effort into it, and then you got everybody just rapping on the beat because their friend told them to do it, or they see their favorite celebrity, so I'm gonna give it a shot, not realizing the blood, sweat, and tears that come with it. So hip hop, will it change? Yeah, it can, but I feel like social media will always, it'll promote the song, but it's gonna get to a point where it's kind of like I don't want to hear it from social media. I want to hear it from in person.
Right.
Like before social media ever existed, you had to go see the artists and hear about what's going on. Look at flyers in the street. Oh, they're gonna be here.
Right.
And they want to tap in with them. You get their contact info if they want to give it.
Right.
So that's what I really feel like hip hop.
Yeah, man, hip hop. I think it's beautiful, man. I think, like, I'm an older guy, but I ain't a hater. I'm not like, I like the way. I ain't gonna say I like the way it's going, but I like the freedom of expression a lot of people have. Because before, bro, you had to get a CD pressed up, and then you had to go get a deal.
Remember burning a CD?
Yeah, oh yeah, heck yeah. I'm surprised you do, man. I'm like, yeah, I remember, dog. I rapped at one time in my life. Used to press up CDs, come to New York, and just walk. I walked to Def Jam. That was on 8th. And I think like 52nd, and stand outside literally all day passing out CDs to every person that walked by, bro. It was different times, but now you don't got to do none of that. You could just make a record in your room on your computer, put it online, and that thing could take off. So I think that's beautiful for upcoming artists, and I think it's expression, man. I think people are expressing themselves, so I overall think it's good. But two more questions. Social media, how is it being growing up and you've never not had social media? Like, all you know in your whole life is social media. Like, once you got on, when did you get on social media is the question.
So, Facebook, I'll tell you because like how was life like, and then I'll tell you what social. So, life was interesting. Like, for me, it was just like, because I didn't have MySpace. Right. YouTube was still in like the beginning stages. I would say when I was in like 8th grade, so like 2010, 2011, that's when I created Facebook. Because around my age, you know, during that time for us, Facebook was hot. Right. Instagram didn't exist. Yeah. Then Instagram came into play, right? I remember I had an Instagram. It had the basic features. It didn't implement new features. It was still starting out. Right. So
it was just pictures at that point.
As the years went on, implemented video, Reels, IGTV, and so much more. Then TikTok, and then so much of these other things. So my beginning stages was kind of like, it's like, okay, well, I know everybody have it, so I know I need to have it, so I can be in contact with every other person. Right. Before that, I wasn't using none of that. And it's so crazy. I really said that to myself. I said, Mom, we weren't buying nothing from Amazon. You was going to the stores, giving my Xbox, my PlayStation, and so on, and so much more. Being that social media is all we knew is we had each other's numbers. We're gonna call and hang out. Right. You know, there wasn't no playing Xbox Live or. I remember we had Nintendo DS and PSPs. And that was a good old time. Yeah. Now it's like being that we have it. I can't lie, it's helpful, but it kind of makes us lazy, which will cause people to not have social skills. Oh. Nah, I ain't trying to go deep.
we could have that conversation. Like, that's a real thing.
Yeah, I'll say that for another part. Another part. But you know, to answer your question, it was a vibe, you know. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like when social media came into play, it expanded everything. If I would have had that, like, let's say TikTok would have came into play, or when I was like 12, 13 years old. Oh boy, forget it. Nobody would have been paying attention in class. Nah. And then on top of that too, it's like I'll really be saying to myself, you know how they say Soulja Boy was like the first person to use YouTube to his advantage because he saw people wasn't using it. Right. I wish I would have thought like him, be a genius and be like, yo, I'm gonna use this, create content, create my own thing. Yep. But because none of this stuff was out here, it was hard for us to think outside the box. He did.
Right.
I didn't have that.
But it happens though. And then, dog, you experienced it and you better for it. And I think everything's a lesson, man. You know what I mean? So now you better for it moving forward. But what's the thing you want to do next, man? Like, I know like at some point we all got dreams. What's a dream of yours? Not even talking about the show, something you want for your life moving forward on any front. Like the show, of course, we're going to talk about that and we're going to get to that soon. We're going to wrap it up and you're going to tell them where they can find you and all that stuff. But what's a dream you got as a 27-year-old black man living in New York City with, like, living in New York gives you a big, wider perspective than most places because you see a lot of stuff. So what's the dream you got for yourself, bro?
I could definitely see myself like hosting a red carpet for like BET, or just any for like social media networks, or just doing Kickback and Vibe full time.
Yeah.
Like doing it at any given point.
Yeah.
Any given time of the day.
Right.
I would love to at some point interview like some A-list celebrities. There's a lot of people, and it's so crazy when you mention like who I would like to interview. I always said Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
man,
seemed like a great interview.
Yo, he just seems like just a chill, nice guy, charismatic personality. But to answer Chris, I would love to interview A-list celebrities. It's cool and all to be within 5 to 10 feet to them. And yeah, people, have their mic and be like, hey, can I interview you real quick? But it's different when they just come and they be like, hey, I'm going to see Dave. It's like similar to the Breakfast Club. Like, hey,
right.
It's press day for a movie or whatever. Hey, we got to go to Kickback and Vibe and talk about this.
Yeah.
And we have a whole setup. We have everything. We have the food. We have what you'll see on the production. Even though I have a production, it's a little different when it's the A-list artists.
Yeah,
A-list celebrities. So I'm not gonna lie, I would love to do that. But I would still treat them like a normal human being.
Right.
You know?
Of course. That's who they are. They're human beings, man. They put their pants on one leg at a time. Like, you putting your pants on 2 legs at a time.
That's questionable.
Yeah, it's questionable, and God bless you. You probably, I ain't even going there. Nope. But, Dave, tell the people where they can find you. Tell the people where they can find your show. And all that contact information you want to give them, do it now, brother.
All right, cool, man. You can find me on social media at DayNYC, DAYNYC, 2 underscores at the end. I'm pretty sure it'll be at the bottom of your screen. Kickback and Vibe Show, Kickback, letter N, and then Vibe, VIBE, and then show. Kickback and Vibe Show, that's where you can find all the exclusive content. I'm always interviewing, I'm always vibing with somebody. And there's always somebody special coming to the show, so I'm forever grateful, and I appreciate it.
Hey, so Dave, man, again,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for coming on, man.
Absolutely.
And look, ending note, y'all. Met Day, it was random. And now, look, he on the show, I was on his show. So when you moving through your day, you never know who you're going to come across. Take advantage of every opportunity to meet, shake hands, and exchange energy with people because it could lead to something great. And that's what happened tonight, something great. Thank you, brother, for coming on. Double dap. We did the double dap. And, yo, peace, love, y'all. We out of here. Early Evening Show with Tyrone Miller. Shout out to Day NYC. Go watch his show. Watch the Early Evening Show. And shout out to everybody that's living. If you're watching me, I love you, man. Have a great rest of your evening.